Hey everybody, I'm Decent Eddie. Uh, I love data. A little bit about me. For the better part of 10 years, I was in the data industry, specifically audience data, consumer data, things like that. I'm not really a math person, I'm a data person. There is a bit of a difference. Anyway, because of a change of vocation over this past summer, the summer of 24, I found myself with a lot of free time. After doing a few little pet projects in my spare time while working, I found myself going to sports. I used to love sports. I used to love sports betting. And in the late 90s and early 2000s, I used to do that quite a bit. I was pretty good at it. But because of a change of vocation in the early 2000s, I had to step away. And that's okay. Now that I'm here in 2025, I'm wanting to do something a little bit different. I actually kind of want to provide a service. Now, if you're the type of person that is or has borrowed money to bet, or if you are considering selling something of extreme importance just to have money to bet, then nothing that I do is for you. Okay? If you're doing those things or thinking about those things, those should be giant red flags for you. And there are resources available to you to get help. No matter how much money you think you need, and no matter how dark a hole you feel like you are in, it is so much darker if you go that way. So please don't do that. And if that's you, click off this video, go watch cat videos or something, and visit the gambling hotline. I'll provide a link. This is really for entertainment purposes and maybe educational purposes. I want to create somewhat of a dialogue between us, and I welcome that. Starting in week 4 of the NFL, I started reading a lot of sports news, which led to me researching sports data, and so much more data is available now, and it's so much easier than it was in the 90s and early 2000s. It's crazy. It's crazy how much data is out there, and how you use it really matters. So after a couple of weeks of doing that, I decided to just do a little bit of wagering, and turns out I was pretty good at that. Now, I tweaked my system along the way, but I crafted a data set that works really, really well. At least I think it did. And I began tracking on spreadsheets and stuff how my picks were going. And throughout the season, starting in week 8, is when I really started to track this data almost like another job, to be honest. And over the course of 163 games, I was hitting an accuracy of 74%. That's pretty astonishing. And what I call my confident picks, which is a smaller number, it's only 88 games out of those 163, I was at 80%. 80%. I don't know for sure because I'm not in that world anymore, but I remember that world from the past, and anybody that is getting 80% of their wins, that's a pretty strong better. The football season ended, but I wanted to see if I could do the same thing with the NBA. Now, I have loved football since I was a little kid. Sadly, I'm a Raiders fan. You know, the Tuck Rule game, that breaks my heart. Rich Gannon getting sacked by Tony Saragusa in the playoffs. Separating his shoulder breaks my heart still to this day, even though it's been more than 2 decades. It still hurts. NBA, I enjoy it, but I'll go to a game. I'm not going to paint my face. I'm not going to buy a jersey. I'm going to go have a good time, and then that's it. But it's really the only other major sport that I could test my data sample with, so I started to do that. On January 8th is kind of the D-Day in a way, where I thought that I had a data set that was worth talking about. And since that date, that's 222 games. I'm at 65%. Not as good as NFL, but still pretty good over all games. What I'm calling my confident picks, that's 93 games. I got 75 right. That's 81%. It's really, really excellent. I would like to get it higher, but we'll see. NBA is a much more picky animal than the NFL. So many little things can affect outcomes of NBA games that wouldn't have a breath of making any kind of change with NFL. So what we're doing, this is the NBA All-Star break. It's the 15th of February. It's late afternoon, early evening. And what I want to do is I want to put my picks out there. Call it accountability if you want to. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to evolve, everybody. What I know I'm going to do is I'm going to keep making picks every day. I'm going to keep using the data set that I've got every day. And we're going to see where this goes. Could be great, could be mediocre. I doubt it's going to be bad. So let's just see where this goes, all right? This might turn into introduction channel that goes to a Patreon later on where maybe I'll sell picks or sell data. I don't really know. I don't have any idea. It could go nowhere. I might start a Substack where I put out a lot of really granular data, but this is what I'll tell you. One of the other motivations for me doing this, well, there's two, honestly, is I've got a lot of friends, and when they saw my record with the NFL, they would ask for my picks, and I would give it to them. Same thing is starting to happen with the NBA. Many of my friends, they lose a lot of money picking these wild bets, and a lot of these people can't really afford to do that. And as the availability of sports gambling has become more available to everybody, the prevalence of it, not just in the United States, but really most of the world now, it's kind of becoming sort of a red alert sort of deal. And I'm hoping what I can do is kind of put a little bit of water on that fire. I enjoy it. I don't bet a lot of money. I might only bet $1 or $2 just to kind of see how I do. There are occasions where I will put more, but not too often. I'm really just in this for the data, just to kind of see how my sample goes. But if my sample can help people out, help them avoid terrible mistakes, then hey, that's great. That's what I want. It's maybe a way of helping a little bit, right? So let's just see where it goes. I'm really glad that you clicked on. Comment, like, subscribe if you want to. I'll be doing updates probably daily in the mornings before we get too far into the day. With NBA, there's games every day. When we get to the NFL, maybe not as many updates. And I don't know what's going to happen in between the NBA and NFL. I again, like basketball. I will go to a baseball game and I'll enjoy it. But man, oh man, getting a handle on baseball stats, well, not only is it kind of hard to do, I really don't have much interest. It's just not my thing, guys. Sorry if that's you. I know a lot of people love it. I'm just not one of them. So let's just see, guys. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you clicked on. There's going to be more stuff coming up as soon as the games after the All-Star break start. We'll be doing daily updates. It's going to look better than this eventually. This is the cheap way of doing it right now. I'm sure that there will be more things to look at as we go, and the production value will be better. But this is what you get right now. This is day one, yo. Anyway, have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon. This is Decent Eddie, signing off.